Where's your coming back online? Coming back online. Taking a little break.
And freedom reigns. There is hope in every single word you say. I don't miss one word you speak, 'cause everything you say is life to me. I don't wanna miss one word you speak.
Yeah, let's go, Papa.
Quiet my heart, I'm listening.
There's spot. Saving the first piece of the hill.
You whisper when they don't have the words to say. I won't lose hope. When storms go away, you keep your word. Oh, and your promises will keep me safe. I don't miss one word you speak, 'cause everything you say is life to me. I don't miss one word you speak. So quiet my heart, I'm listening.
74. Well, let's get 75. Oh, that's
You know just what I need. I trust you tonight. You see what I cannot see. Your ways are higher. You know just what I need. I trust you tonight. You see what I cannot see. Your ways are higher. You know just what I need. I trust you, Jesus. You see what I cannot see. Your ways are higher. speak. 'Cause everything you say is life to me. I don't wanna miss one word you speak. So quiet my heart, I'm listening.
I'm going to watch some too. Where are we at? All right. Take time to stretch. So the whole point of this is not to really kill your body, more is prepare your body for the day. So you need to ease into it. You don't need to wear yourself out because you're going to burn out if you do that. Trust me. We'll play more kid-friendly music also.
I'll keep running. I'll keep chasing after you. 'Cause I'm so in love with you. So in love with you. And you won't relent. Love is your love. No matter what comes my way, you will seek me. You are running.
Woo!
You keep chasing after.
Those are good.
'Cause you're so in love with me. You are so in love with me. How can it be that the great I am is so in love with me? I can't comprehend it. You're so good to me. I'll forever praise and gaze upon your majesty, your majesty. Yeah. Your majesty. I won't relent.
Just thumbs up. Who's here? Let us know how many reps you're at.
I'll keep running. I'll keep chasing after you. 'Cause I'm so in love with you.
And I don't know about y'all, but I already feel it. Now what you working for? Good. Keep going if you want.
I make this vow, Jesus, here and now, that I'll seek you. I will search and I will chase, run into your name for all of my days, lived in your praise. Holy, holy is your name. I make this vow, Jesus, here and now, that I will seek you. I will search and I will chase, run into your name for all of my days, lived in your praise. Holy, holy is your name. I make this vow, Jesus, here and now, that I will seek you. I will search and I will chase, run into your name for all of my days, lived in your praise. Holy, holy is your name.
Grayson and I are finishing up our reps. We've got to get him what we learned. Hold on for this second. Turn this down a little. So what we learned yesterday, Grayson and I, just to give you guys feedback. I don't know what y'all learned. Type in comments if you guys want to engage. But or ask questions. What Grayson and I learned from yesterday is that without time constraints, if we don't put time constraints on taking out the trash, for example, or doing our homework, or preparing for practice, or preparing for a game, if we don't take the necessary steps to build a solid foundation on a cornerstone, something that's not just going to be washed away, then you have a better chance of succeeding. But you have to have that core aspect of what you do every single day. And that's why you're committed to this. It's so that you can get prepared for the day. But we learned that putting time constraints on ourselves is the best way to move our goals, our targets forward. It's taking action. A lot of people will write stuff down, but they won't take action on it. And so the most important takeaway that you can take away from these 30 days is that you're not just saying what you're doing it. You're here. And that's in and of itself a great start. So just keep that up. Keep that up. We're day 2. And right now we're wrapping up our core 4 exercises. We're about to go make our green smoothie. And I'm going to speak a little bit, give a 5-minute presentation, and then we're going to wrap this thing up, okay? And y'all can keep on getting your reps. You don't have to stop on me. It's just going to be me talking a little, speaking a little faith into you guys. Kind of a message about tonight with the game coming up. So that's a reminder in and of itself. We have a game tonight at 7:45. Ren's going to be pitching tonight. And we've got some exciting things coming up. We're going to have a couple of kids join us for the tournament this weekend. We have a tournament coming up. We're going to have a couple of kids join us. One you guys know, he's a Roosh. Roosh will be coming back to our team as of next week. And we've got Drew Brinkley, who is also going to be playing with us. He played with us last year in Mansfield. And he's going to be at the tournament with us, playing with us this weekend as well. So just like we talked about at the beginning of the year, when we get to those tournaments, it's game time. We prepare. This is what we prepare for. We go to battle, and that's what it is. It's putting together the best team so that we can go to battle and go to war with it. And those two guys make us well more rounded and give us a lot more flexibility than just having 10 guys. So those two guys are going to be coming on with us this week. And I just wanted to mention that on the thread for you guys that woke up. So the message today is what and who are you hunting? Okay. And I read this quote last night. I was going back through stuff I'd written over the past 6 months, went back through all my journals. So just kind of a brief history. The stuff that you see us doing right here, I actually was, let me get my hat. My hair's all a mess. I actually started doing that back in May. And it was through a program called Wake Up Warrior. And just put me on a different trajectory. And it allowed me to build the space to create frameworks so that I can get my son up. You know, if I would have tried this 5-6 months ago, he would have never done it with me. But now, since I've gone through that process and I've seen it transform me, I'm trying to transform my family. And so what and who are you hunting? And when I read that quote, all I could think about was, as a kid, my dad and my granddad taking me hunting. And I thought about how it made me felt. You know, I'm going out there and, you know, I'm just like somebody would if they were in the wild. You know, what would you do if you didn't have a grocery store to go to? So all those things started immediately popping up in my mind when I read this quote: who and what are you hunting? And I had these cool stories, and I have tons of them. But one of the fondest memories was just being able to go with my dad and my granddad and, you know, just see the process unfold, see the preparation, see the storytelling, you know, around the campfires, to see the frameworks about building family and relationship around that. And so you just have so much fond memories of that hunting process. But I can remember the first time I went hunting, the first time, you know, that my heartbeat when that deer came across and I had to hunt that animal. It was a different feeling. I can't explain it. I'm not asking you guys to go out and hunt. I'm just explaining to you how that made me felt. And I can remember my heart was racing. You know, they call it buck fever. And your heart races a little bit. And it's almost like you're in sequence with the animal. But when I read that quote, it really brought back some awesome memories. But it reminded me of the importance of preparation. You know, when we went hunting, what entailed into it? You don't just go out there and show up. There's a lot of preparation that's involved. And then leading up to the hunt, you know, you have to be very strategic with when and where you sit. And there's just so many things. I'm not going to get into the detail, but there's so many things that you have to prepare for. So it just reminded me, that story reminded me of some great memories of my granddad and my dad, and watching those men prepare every morning, get up early in the morning and do what they had to do for their families. So what and who are you hunting? Ask yourself that question. And in your journal today, write down your revelation. How does that make you feel? What does that word hunt mean? So I want to know what you guys think about that. What and who are you hunting? I'm personally hunting my CEO of my company, the CEO of my company that works for the company I work for, ClickFunnels. That's who I'm hunting. That's the lifestyle, the company he runs, how he runs his company, the culture he builds within the company. That's my professional guy I'm chasing. I'm hunting him. And, you know, this guy that right here, the guy that shows up every day, the guy that puts in the work, I'm hunting him also. See, there's two versions of yourself. There's one version that says it's okay to sleep in because it's too early. And you do that enough times and you'll start sleeping in. And then there's another version right over here that's going to get up and do the necessary work, the extra work. So what and who are you hunting? Write down your revelation. And then the last part of this is my memoirs. Back about 6 months ago, I wrote I had an experience. We went down to Center Point, and it's right there on the Guadalupe River. And I took Grayson and Tanner with me. And we went down there because at that point, I had been running my businesses. I was working 100-hour weeks. I was never home. I was missing practices, and it just wasn't worth it. And so Grayson and I and Tanner decided to go down to the river, and we had this experience. And so I just wanted to share it. And it's called Fish Go With The Flow. Fish Go With The Flow. So the experience was when we went down there, Tanner was like, look, there's a bunch of these little minnows. And so Grayson and I immediately ran over there. And when we did, we cloudied up the water. And so when I looked down there, I was like, there's no fish there. And what we realized is that we stirred up the sediment. And so it just clouded up the vision so we couldn't see clear. And so the reason I'm telling you guys that story, and then I'll kind of tie a cool bonus at the end of what we did actually. Think about what we do in life. We rush into judgment. We rush in criticizing, condemning, or complaining. And we cloudy up the water, and it's unclear, you know. We start focusing on ourselves rather than focusing on the individual in front of us. And so I just wanted to relate that story because oftentimes I personally rush in and muddy up the waters myself in a lot of different situations. And it can all be prevented upon because when you're thinking about someone else, when you're always preparing for the day, when you're building up that necessary power in your body, in your mind and your spirit, then the next best thing is just to share it with the world. And so that's the whole reason why we build up that power each and every day. And then the Core 4 creates the structure. That Core 4 exercises, the smoothie, the whole routine. That Core 4 creates the structure and the calm access to iterate the best version of yourself. So when I ask you, who are you hunting? You better be hunting a version of yourself right up here. You're here, but right up here is another version of yourself. Another version of yourself that lost 20 pounds. And the whole concept of what I'm teaching you guys with this Core 4 is I'm teaching you how to reverse engineer. Do you understand? If you know and can model and know what somebody that in your life you want to hunt, you know that they're right here, all you got to do is figure out how they got there and then reverse engineer it, right? And so in your mind, in actually the second iteration of this challenge, so for the first 30 days, I'm taking you guys on a journey where we're going to do this, Core 4. The second 30 days, yeah, it's not going to just be 30. We're going to go 60 and then we're going to go 90. But the next 30 days is going to teach you guys how to find that person you want to hunt and then reverse engineer. And I'm going to teach you about what's called Key 4. Key 4. And Key 4 is basically the what, why, how, and who approach. And that's basically breaking down keys. Each week you're working on 4 keys. 4 keys equals 1 door that you open each week. So that's kind of what you're looking forward to. And the cool part about that story, and I'm wrapping it up, but the cool part about the story with the minnow is that right at the end, when we put our hand out in the water and we let all the sediment clear away and all the muddiness cleared away and it was clear again, the fish came back out, the little minnows came back out, and I said, hey, let's see if they will swim into my hand. And I just calmly laid my palm in the water, and just sat there for about a minute or two. And then all of a sudden, those little, and I've got a video. I'll actually follow up on this thread. I'll post it. But there's minnows just swimming in and out of my hand, nibbling on my hand. It was the coolest experience, because what that experience taught me was that we can rush in and cloudy up the waters, or we can have a calm presence and lead from that calm presence in our life. Do you follow what I'm saying? Don't lead from the area of the muddy water. Don't rush into judgment. Make it about other people. Don't make it about yourself. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. I hope you guys got in your core 4 exercises. Grayson is making our smoothies right now. And I've got to get to writing my notes so I can give them to the guys before they hit the door. That was my mistake yesterday, so I had to give them my notes when they got home. So like I said, we're putting time constraints earlier on the thread. For those that jumped on, we're putting time constraints. One thing we learned yesterday was put time constraints. So that's why Grayson's in there and doing some things to get us better prepared for today. So we'll have our notes. Make sure you're journaling. Love you guys. See you guys tonight. And let's keep on giving our 110.